Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, bigger, better, good God, and truth of you. You know, you hear things like nobody likes an evil dictator, communism is the devil, socialism is unjust to capitalism, and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm going to keep it real with you, man. All these governments are one same-minded, gamey with faith, you know, and depending on the bias of their government, you know, is depending on how they're dealing with it. And really, I mean, honestly, I'm going to keep it real with you. Nobody likes to deal with somebody that is, you know, going to potentially do something terrible to them just by the association of them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Russia, you kind of got that image going on over in the West. And the West, you're projecting that image over to Russia because it's, you know, like Putin said, it's two hemispheres of the mind, but they say it's two hemispheres of the world, right? And nobody's budging, you know. Their industries and their people and their societies are set up a certain way, and ours is too. And it's a clash of civilizations, you know. And it's one that has been how do you say it's been created on us, you know, because I'm telling you, these fools are not only one-minded, right? To the richest hierarchy of them, they are one function, you see. Well, nothing happens without the other knowing it, or it's shut down to nothing as a negative of them. You know, I'm no fool, you understand? I'm the king of this. Check me out. Only cross one more positive than a negative always, right? It's the bad way, bad guy of nothing. It's the evil of nothing. It's the sinful way of nothing. And it's the neutral nothing, right? All else is faith. The bad way of you, the bad guy of you, right? The sinful way of you, the evil way of you, the neutral nothing of you. Because if you just cross all those negative things back one more positive, right? It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. I don't know how many times I can really say it and not sound like a goon myself, right? But it's the absolute bigger, better of you hearing how good is truth. Meaning, you know, if you're more positive than a negative, right? You feel good, you are good, right? And as truth, that's the bigger and better of you being good as truth. You can't come to no harm for that. You can't suffer that. You can't die of that, you see? And this is why, you know, it's a clash of civilizations, because I believe, you know, that somewhere in the hierarchy of us, right? I mean, you know, it's saying the human species must exist, right? That if this is the law of the land and the fact of God of it, check, right? There's a lot of fools out here slipping, man, that have to come to terms with how they're dealing with it, you see? Some won't make it. Some industries will clash. Some freaking fools will collide, but know the truth of it. You see, right now, I'll show you something. Everywhere faith has been stated, it's been stated on a lie of religion, and it's been stated on a lie of government, you see, because you can't cross negative with negativity, stating things cross bad, and say you are the good truth of nothing. All you are is blind and undefined. That's negative as hell to call things bad, sinful, or evil, right? And you need to bring it back always to a more positive value to be good as truth, the absolute bigger and better of that faithful way. And, you know, a lot of these fools, you could say this to them a trillion ways under the stars, but if their pockets are sold out to the reality check of it, it's a sickening fact on them, and it's one that has them in a perpetual state of negative decay and disintegration. Not only that, all they love, from the mind through the body to the world. Because I'm going to explain something to you. If you don't bring that bad, which is just a blind negative, right, back to a more positive value, right, to make yourself and the world around you good as truth, you are not, and you are a reflection of that bad in the affairs of you. And it's sad. It's sick. That's why I talk to these intelligent people so crazy, man. You know, it's a sad, sick thing. But, you know, what can you do? I do this for my children so they don't grow up to be hunted down or, you know, sold some lies about some bad guy across the world thinking they're signing up to protect us when they're just signing up to be sheep to slaughter. I'm not on it, you know. I know a bigger, better way than that. Come on, man, let me make sense to you. You hear me? But, you know, these folks, and we can say what we want in America about dictators and stuff, but I'm going to keep it real with you. Everywhere in the United States, the Constitution says it's okay to make a person a slave if they come up a bad guy, a bad way, an evil way, or a sinful way in your courts. And in reality check, that is the bad way, evil, sinful way, and dysfunction of your societies at all angles. You know, you wonder why people don't trust the police. You see, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Who could trust somebody in the flip of a dime, man, that will rob your life from you for whatever reason? Because we're all a bunch of blind fools. You see, and then with no conscience, right? Just rub you out in it for years. No, that's crazy. You hear me? And the people who show up to work to do the rubbing for them fools are crazy because they keep you in a perpetual negative state. I mean, to cage your fellow man, right? As any kind of an option of you, man, is just a sick, unprofound way of being, because all else would just spare no expense to not make victims and crooks, but the bigger and better of all negativity. You see, a coexisting way to be, but they don't do it. See, we're all in a state of division at all times because of these faithful governments. And it's just not America. It's everywhere. It's a function from every government of the world, this faithful way, all the way through their peoples, and depending on what society they are, is depending on the laws that they do it with and how they regulate it. It's just a fact, you see. And everybody else is blind sheeps to it, you see. It's sad, it's sick. But I'm going to keep on doing me, you see, because I know the bigger and better of this crazy world. God, truth, the reality check, see. Just state of one more positive with your circuitry, right, is when you feel all negativity is the only light, joy, warmth, good God, or true Holy Spirit for everlasting peace, all will ever know or be. It's the state that all embodied matter is stated good to the truth of God of their shape, form, and mass, only crossing to a bigger, better of them here and now, more positive and good than any negativity. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die that rightful, truthful way. You hear me? That only kills it. Faith, atheist, and negativity, the one same way. It's the one neutral nothing of their negativity. It's just the one nothing of them here and now. Projected to reality check. And that's the fact of God check. No faith, man, respects the body. And you have 4 major muscle groups, from the mind through the body to the world. Your arms, legs, chest, and stomach, okay? And these are the branches of your 5 senses, which is your seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, reality check of you, okay? With all you see and do, okay? With all you are, okay? Anytime you feel any natural negative deficiencies in these muscle areas, right? Get a resistance, you can work until that area, it burns, right? Work that area until it burns with your motion, and then rest, okay? You will feel a bigger, better blow, good as truth to that muscle group, okay? It's impossible to shrivel up out of reality check, decay, disintegrate, or die of that feeble, you understand? Elderly, to nothing, making your muscles only bigger and better for you, okay? And it hits everything in between, your respiratory, your circulatory, your heart, your organs. And it's the absolute bigger, better of you, from the mind through the body to the world, as a reality check, because you can't suffer out of existence. You can't grow old and shrivel up, age out, or die of that. And it takes less than a minute a day to make that muscle burn like hell with the right resistance. And that is God, truth, and reality check. You know, if you believe, right, that the world cross is bad, and you believe you have to die, right, to go to some sort of illusion of heaven, right? Because that's all it can be. You've never met nobody that's ever come back from death in reality check, because that doesn't happen. Listen to me. You can't kill something crossing more positive than the negatives of it. That is the absolute good truth of the life of Jesus Christ, and that is the absolute good truth of anything good you will ever see. I mean, if it's good to you from the inside out, even if you're insane in reality check, right? It only states one more positive than all negativity. The absolute good truth of the life of Jesus Christ, and is the absolute bigger, better here and now, even Holy Spirit, right? Of all mankind's negativity to one neutral nothing. I absolutely positively am. See, I only cross one more positive than a negative always. It's the bad way of nothing. It's the sinful way of nothing. It's the evil way of nothing. All else is the face of you. The evil way of you, the sinful way of you, right? The hellish bad way, bad guy of you to one neutral nothing. Just a negative of you here and now. To be one more positive again than all negativity is the only way you can add up, state, or be good as truth to an absolute bigger, better of you here and now. All else, right, is just negatively deficient, blind and undefined with their choices, right? The bad way of them, the evil way of them, the sinful way of them, created and projected on them by their leadership. And it's a flawed way. It's an antichrist way. It's a beast system way of being. You know, all creation of existence is just a circuit of energy, one more positive than all negativity. As the seeds of it, the atoms that make up all our matter are only created one more positive, good as the truth of them, bigger and better than all negativity. The only way any shape, form, and mass of bonding atoms to the good truth of all shape, form, and mass can be destroyed is with negative decay and disintegration. It is no good as truth to an absolute positive, bigger, better, bonding, good shape, form, and mass. Meaning when you cross negative with negativity, the atoms that you are created of, okay, can't hold their bond more positive and good as truth to keep the bigger and better of you here and now relevant, more positive than negative, in a more positive than negative universe. So says the here and now of us. And like I've said in other videos, you know, anything crossing less than one more positive than a negative always, right? Only adding up good as truth, right? To the reality check of the universe, right? A more positive universe than a negative one could be the one nothing of this universe, the negative of it at any time to the here and now of them. When, if you've heard of anything called like the wave field collapse happens, what it means is when this wave field, right, the negative charge of existence comes back on you, if you're not a more positive stated entity, being, existing matter than a negative, it could be the one nothing of the good truth of you, the lights out of you at any given time. And that's why all of these dynasties is come and gone. And all of the people of them, right, no longer exist. And if you think about multi-world theory, man, or multi-universe theory, them universes and them worlds better be created one way, one more positive than all negativity. Good as the truth of the shape, form, and mass of an atom. Good as the truth of the shape, form, and mass of the universe. Good as the truth of the shape, form, and mass of the man up, good God, and truth of all reality. Check I am. Because if they are not, right, you look back on all of history up until the here and now, it will be the one nothing of you, just negative of you, here and now, forevermore. And that is a fact of God, check. From the full thief man, God King, Adam man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am. Peace.